Shalom. This is your brother Tazakia back with another lesson. Lord willing, is quick, to the point, and edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. I also want to give double honors to the elders, apostles, and prophets out of Great Millstone. Those are the men that I believe are the true prophets of the Lord. All right, today we're going to get into the blessings and the curses that were promised to happen to us if we were to follow the laws of the Most High or if we was to go off. So before we get into that, get this scripture in 1 John 3 and 4 so we can understand what sin is. Okay, and it reads, whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Let's get that in NLT. Everyone who sins is breaking the Most High's law, for our sin is contrary to the law of the Most High. So basically, if you sin, you're breaking the law. And the only people that can sin is Israel. All these other nations, he does not care about them. He only cares about his people. Who are his people, you ask? I mean, let's see. See if I can get, I think I got it up. Yep. All right, let's get into it. First off, you got Judah. That would be the American Negroes. Benjamin, the West Indies, like Jamaica, things like that. Maybe Trinidad, Tobago, I'm not sure. Levi would be the Haitians. Simeon would be the Dominicans. Zebulun, Panamanians, the Guatemalans. Ephraim, Puerto Ricans. Manasseh is the Cubans. Reuben, the Seminole Indians. Gad, North American Indians. Asher, Brazilians, the Colombians, the Uruguayans, something like that. Naphtali, Argentinians, the Chileans. And Issachar will be the Mexicans. All right, now that we got that, let's get into the blessings and curses. All right, Deuteronomy 28. Let's see how much we're going to do as far as the blessings before we get to it for the curses. Because obviously we didn't listen because we're suffering now with curses. So let's get a couple of these scriptures. 28 and 1, and it reads, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of thy power, of the Lord thy power. Salakia, should be Yahweh, all caps. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of the body of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket in thy store. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. Yahweh shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. Yahweh shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thy hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. Yahweh shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy power, and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of thee. And Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which Yahweh sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land, and to bless all work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. Verse 13, it reads, and the Lord Yahweh shall make thee the head, and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy power, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other powers to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Yeah, Moses was getting ready. He knew we was fuck up. He already knew it. That's why he said it shall come to pass, I bet. Shit, he already knew how stiff-necked we were, man. It's crazy. All right, let's get into these curses. See what they sound like. Do any of you so-called Israelites out there are dealing with any curses in your life? Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thy basket be in thy store. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store, Salakia. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when you comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Are you getting the point? Basically, every damn thing you do is going to be cursed, pretty much. That's what he's telling you. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he hath consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. The Lord Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Are y'all kind of catching it? It's pretty much everything that he's blessed us, say he's going to bless us with, he's going to pretty much curse if we was to go out. Pretty much, that's what I'm getting here. I hope you guys are keeping up. All right, Deuteronomy 28:26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord, thy power will smite thee with the bots of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Tell me about it. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Aren't we still oppressed to this day? I mean, trouble finding jobs, keeping jobs, etc. Cops killing us, etc., etc. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant the vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Seems like them curses was more back in the slavery time, but I mean, you probably can kind of pinpoint that shit to something in today's, like, because back then they probably had wealth depending on the animals and shit. Nowadays it's money, so who knows. All right. 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look, and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. That's definitely slavery. And it could be these fucking stupid ass women taking our kids from us, putting us on child support as well. So I mean, you can attribute that to however you want, but I'm thinking it's in slavery because it's Deuteronomy. It was before that when Moses was speaking. All right. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Now I wonder if some of the older people out there got some type of disease like that or not. I don't know. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Jesus Christ, huh? Made of wood and stone. You see him in the church? They had a yeah. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, nigger, among all nations whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. Yeah, let me go and get that in there. Add that to the note while I'm here, while I'm doing this lesson. Byword would be a nigga. And then for Mexicans, what they call them, wetbacks and all that other shit. I ain't gonna go through all that. But y'all get the point. 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. I can attribute that to me now. All that work I did in these motherfuckers. Never mind. Yeah. 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Yep. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. You look around today, who are we always having to get money from? When it's something we want, who we got to go to? Esau, Edom. They run the world. It's their kingdom, but it's short. They know it's coming to an end real soon. That's the good part about it. So hold on, Yasharala. We almost out of there. We should get to this horrible time that's coming, unlike nothing before. The hopeful elect, and then that's it. Esau's done. It's his turn. All right, let's get back. Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in darkness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee. Let me check that out real quick. Yoke of iron. Let's see what Google brings up. Let's see. In the images. If there's any images. Woo! What the fuck pops up first? Man. I mean, it don't get much clearer than this to you ignorant ass 230 niggas. It don't get much clearer than this, man. I don't even like going into this lesson because these niggas just won't learn, Lord. But we have to wash the blood clean off our hands. Yeah, I mean, any more images? You get the gist of it. Yoke of iron was on our neck. All right, 28 and 49. The Lord, Yahweh, shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle, keyword eagle, flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. We did not know what the fuck they were saying when they came and got us. And then, what is America's bird? The eagle, right? No such thing as coincidences, Jack. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. Did they show us favor in slavery? No, they was killing us, alligator bait to the children, tying motherfuckers to horses and having the horses go separate ways and ripping us apart. What they call it, buck breaking or something, raping the men and shit in front of the family, in front of his wives and shit like that. I was just making me mad just thinking about it. But yeah, I hope you guys getting the gist of it now. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy hand until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy power had given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power had given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left in him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, Her eyes shall be eager toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Don't I know it? Look at my mama now, trying to kill her own son. Man, I'm not gonna worry about that. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh thy power. Woo! Then the Lord will make thy place wonderful, in the place of thy seed, even great plagues, end of long continuance, and sore sickness, end of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Yeah, I'm sure there's some curses and diseases we dealing with now that was not listed in this book, like COVID and all that bullshit. All right, 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so the Lord Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Instead of repeating that wood and stone, huh? And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. What is it talking about? He said Egypt again, spiritual Egypt. What is spiritual Egypt? Let me get this. It sucks I have to do this, but they should already know. We ain't got that time. America, a.k.a. Babylon, stay with me now. Great. Got it? All right. Well, Lord willing, you were edified. Till next time, I just say shalom.